Yo, what's up, guys? The Insane Game Freak here. Giving you Pokemon Best Wishes review for episode. Technically, it's episode 29, but it's technically 26 because there are 3 episodes that got screwed over. So technically, it's episode 29. It's more of a filler-ish episode, and let me explain something because a lot of people are like, "What the fuck are you talking about when you say filler?" Considering that this isn't based upon anything, it's in terms of what happens in each episode. When I say filler, when I call a Pokemon episode filler, I'm referring to the fact that that episode probably doesn't have any type of evolutions, nothing that really carries on later, like random events, like the what was it, the filler where what's his name, Goth Lita, earlier. It's like that, like how that doesn't carry on into any future episodes. It's like that when I say so. When I say it's filler, that's what I mean. So what we're gonna do today is talk about this episode. And this episode is a filler episode, but it's probably one of the darker filler episodes that we've seen in a while. And if you wonder what I'm doing, I'm looking up the name of the Pokemon in English because the problem, I think that's the thing, like if people were to ask me right now, what do you prefer Best Wishes in English or Japanese, I'd probably say Japanese. Nothing against the English dub because I am still watching the English dub as the episodes come out every Saturday. I just don't really care about, I just really, I mean, it's kind of a dick move to say. I don't know, the English dub doesn't sound as good as it probably should be because of the fact that I've been watching the Japanese version. But anyways, let's just talk about what's going on. Pretty much, I will say this had a couple of comedic moments. But how it starts out is, the guys are just walking, and Iris thinks it's about to rain, even though it's hot as hell. And Ash is like, if it fucking rains, me and Pikachu will walk on our hands. It seems like Iris is very in tune with nature because soon afterwards it fucking rains and they end up finding this raggedy old mansion that in the middle of nowhere. So when they get inside the mansion, Ash is very stupid and actually does fall up on that province and walks on his hands. I'm getting slightly ahead of myself because I need to explain about the mansion. The reason why I said this episode is dark, the last time we have a dark episode like this, I will say, is probably around Johto or Kanto. I don't remember there being any dark episodes in Sinnoh or Hoenn. The reason why I say it's dark is because of the Pokemon that's featured. The 2 Pokemon that are featured in this one is Litwick and his evolution Lampent. Which actually, I don't know if that's a play on words for repent, but if it is, that's fucked up. Lampent. Anyways, so we find out soon after that. Well, not them, but we do as the viewers. We find out that Team Rocket happens to be inhabiting this building, trying to make a base. They find this building and wants to make it a base. They also find all these Litwicks there who they've gotten to do their bidding because James has a Yaw mask now, and ghost types communicate and shit. So, anyways, they notice that Ash and them are running across into the mansion. They're like, man, we need to get these fuckers out. This is supposed to be our base. And Meowth is like, well, why don't we get Pikachu and then run them out? And it's like, oh, yeah, that works. And so they order the Litwicks to do just that. Which leads into a whole bunch of hilarious fear for my life scenes. There's this one particular scene. I really can't wait to hear it dub. What happens is you have a whole bunch of strange occurrences surrounding Ash and Iris and Dento while they're just sitting there. And it's like the first thing is that the window opens and the desk flies across the room. And then all of a sudden, Iris is talking to them like, what is wrong with you guys? Because Dento and Ash are freaked out and they're like, what is wrong with you? And she turns around and it just happens that coming down the stairs, all these random ass items and shit acting as if they're a body coming to attack them, and they're all freaking out, running across the room, and they try to run out, and for whatever Litwick Force uses Psychic and shuts the door. Now, they don't know this is Litwick, they just think this is some ghost shit, and they all land on the floor dodging the collision of the table that was in front of the door with the stuff that was chasing them. And the funniest scene, I will say, in this episode, there's a point where Dento's like on the ground, he's getting up, and the fucking statuette falls next to him, and he screams like a little bitch and runs. I want to see Jason Griffith. If you didn't know, that's the person who does Silent's voice or Gento's voice in English. I want to see him do that scream because that shit was hilarious to watch. I'm not gonna lie, and this is where you start seeing the hints of the darkness. For one, you notice Team Rocket when the scenes with Team Rocket look haggard for whatever reason. It's also mentioned that they're confused because they ordered the Litwicks to get Pikachu and then chase them out of the house, and yet they blocked the exit so they couldn't run out of the house. So it was like, what the fuck? Pretty much now, I'm just going to skip. There's another ghost-related scene, which is where the thumbnail comes from, that freaks them out, and they're freaking out, and they're scared and shit. Anyways, they finally they finally see the Litwicks, and they're running away, and one of them is too slow. This is funny scene. The second funny scene would be Ash going, "So it was you," and so he uses his Pokédex to look up information on him, and it cuts out in the middle of its explanation of what Litwick is, which is weird. We don't know why it does that. Well, we find out later. So anyways, they're carrying around Litwick, looking for the other Litwicks to explain what the fuck is going on. While doing this, they run into Meowth, who went to go tell the Litwicks that they need to do their fucking job and get Pikachu and chase them out. But that's not what happens. They see Meowth and they run, and then for whatever reason, they just randomly disappear. While this is going on, all of a sudden, Kibaku disappears. Then a few moments later, Litwick disappears along with Pikachu. So now it's just like, what the fuck happened? And this is where it gets really creepy because then it's like, okay, maybe we need to read back up on what the Pokédex was saying about Litwick, and we get the full explanation. And the full explanation is literally that Litwick, the fires on their heads, they're ghost fire types if you don't know. The fires on their heads, those get bigger because Litwicks and Lampents suck out the life force of humans and Pokemon. So when you want to know why Team Rocket's haggard, that's why. Their life force is being sucked down. They don't realize this until later. And then they freak out and try to get the fuck out and realize Meowth is missing, along with Kibago and Pikachu. So they're looking for Meowth. And they're like, oh shit, we gotta get the fuck out of this house. We need to get the Pokemon and get the fuck out of the house. Pretty much. So pretty much these Litwicks are slowly killing these fuckers and then dragging them to the afterlife. Because when what happens is they end up getting like knocked down into a basement. Where they find Kibago, Meowth, and Pikachu, and then all of a sudden they run across the Litwicks, and then they run across the Lapent, the one big ass Lapent, and for whatever reason, this motherfucker's decide, you know what, I'm gonna break the basement and turn it into the afterlife, and that's what he does, and so it's kind of like a oh fuck moment, it's funny because Team Rocket's so haggard and tired. They do a haggard, tired motto. Number, and on top of that, they also get knocked back and almost get sucked into the abyss, but Ash and Gento saved them and shit. And they make a temporary truce while they had to beat the shit out of Lapent and Litwicks in order to survive, which they do, obviously, and they win. So the truce is done. They get the fuck out, and Team Rocket flies off on jetpacks, saying the next time we meet, it won't be like this, and blah blah blah. And they find out the mansion also was apparently being psychically manipulated because it looked like shit when they ran out of it. And the episode ends with the fucking rain ending, the rain starting up again because it had stopped apparently while they were in the house, and it started up again as soon as they got out of the house. And then that's how the episode ends. So that's the review. I mean, for an episode, it's pretty fucking dark, just threatening people's lives. If you can't tell, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, and for whatever reason, I'm actually tired because I've been going through my homework, and even then, I was procrastinating. But anyways, there's two other things I want to talk about now. The first thing is we have a second ending now for this. For anyone who's watched this episode, this is where we get our second ending, which is essentially a Japanese Pokerap with like Meowth on the fucking DJ table and the Pokemon appearing up in lights. And pretty much all the ending is a rap with the names. And the music sounds fine. It actually sounds fine. The problem with it is that since the names are in Japanese, it's weird. It sounds really weird and fucked up. Like the music and beats and shit are fine, but and the animation is fine. It's just that fucking the lyrics. God damn, the lyrics are all essentially just the names of the Pokemon with a bullshit chorus, and it's very chilled out Pokemon rap. So anyone who wants to post speculations, anyone think they're gonna use this rap for Black and White when it comes out in America, which will be at episode, technically this is episode 29. That's if they air the unaired episodes in Japan, which they may or may not. They might not, because Japan seems to be very kind of picky with their shit. Like, if you don't, it's like if we haven't aired it and you aired it, it's kind of an insult, I guess. I'm not totally sure. But anyways, that's the first thing concerning. The next thing to be concerned is that the next episode preview is apparently for Iris. Apparently, they're going to run across some type of dragon trainer and a dragon Pokemon that I don't know the name of because it's 5th generation. I don't know all the names of the 5th generation Pokemon, obviously. I'm about to start my second run through Black and White, so I'm technically slower than I have been. But anyways, so apparently the next episode is going to be talking about, I think it's going to be more referring to Iris development, which I find crazy because it's like Iris, it's been focusing on Iris for like the last 2 episodes. Like, fuck. Like, the last 2 episodes before this one were focused on her catching Mgola. Did I pronounce that right? I'm not even sure. Mgola. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the last 2 episodes have been focused on her catching Mgola, and then we have a bullshit filler, and then we have another one talking about Kibago, which I think this would probably be the episode where Kibago finally masters Dragon. I'm so tempted to call it Dragon Rage. I'm so tempted to call it Dragon Sneeze, but Dragon Rage, yeah. So I don't know what it is. Apparently we're refocusing. We need to focus on Dento. Dento, at the most, has gotten maybe 2 dedication episodes, and technically would have got a 3rd one if they hadn't, if it had aired. But I don't think it aired, so we're fucked there too. But anyways. I actually think that episode maybe didn't air because of the name. Because the name in the episode is, I guess it introduces a new character named Silent, which kind of creates a damper because, you know, that's Dento's English name. So I'm assuming that's going to become a problem. Now, I'll laugh my ass off if they change that character's name to Dent or Dento. I'd just be like, what the fuck? But anyways, I've been dragging this on for too long. It's 12 minutes. It's 1 o'clock. For whatever reason, I'm actually really tired tonight. Don't know why. But a lot of you guys notified me that the shit... Actually, some of you guys told me it was subbed before I saw it subbed. Like, I didn't... Like, even on the site I watched these episodes on, it wasn't subbed on the episodes. I was like, ooh, okay. It was weird. Anyways, tell me what you guys thought about the filler. I thought it was actually a pretty decent filler. It's pretty funny. I still... That's that laugh, that scream, that Dento silent scream. I'm looking forward to hearing that in English. But anyways, thoughts on the episode. Gotta catch them all. Life's a game, play to win. I'm going to see you guys later, and I'm going to bed. Because I don't think there's anything else I'm going to do tonight. Because homework is out of the question, because I'm just tired. So, later days. If anyone gets where that phrase is from, you earn a digital cookie. And write it in the comment section below. I might start doing those like random ass questions. Tell me how you feel about that too. Anyways, peace.